Following the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, a Midland pastor is back at home tonight after spending more than 2 weeks sheltered in Israel with his family. Cameron Leal has been following this story since the West Texans were stuck more than a week ago and joins us now with more.
Alex, delay after delay. Pastor Steve Brooks and his family spent nearly 86 hours navigating buses, foreign borders, and airport floors just to get back to Midland. He tells me their return was an answered prayer and a reminder that when your faith is on the line, that's often when it burns the brightest.
It's these moments where your faith is tested, and God is our refuge and our strength and our very present help in trouble, or He's not. And so you really have to lean into that.
In the middle of the chaos, Pastor Steve Brooks of First Methodist Church in Midland leaned into his faith to make it out of the Middle East. And he wasn't alone.
One of our pilgrim mates was from India, and the way that he processes his trauma is by writing poetry. And one of the lines that he wrote in this poem, reflecting back on this time when your faith is under fire, your faith must be fire. And I thought that was really, really good. And so let the faith burn deeply that God's got you. And certainly in this situation, with all the prayers, we were out, thankfully.
Pastor Steve, his wife, and their 9-year-old twins had been on a spiritual pilgrimage in Israel when war broke out between Israel and Iran. They went silently for safety, then moved in secret.
They're still trying to get people out in the same way that they got us out. We got on buses in Jerusalem outside of our hotel, had to walk about a quarter of a mile, trying to keep a low profile, right? We spent the next actually 18 hours on the buses getting to a location in Jordan.
From there, the delays piled on, missed flights, airport floors, and exhaustion.
We were kind of asked to go dark. We were still able to read Facebook and our email, but we were asked not to give information out. And so, you know, just the support that we were getting from people back home, especially in our church family, was just so incredible and so sustaining.
At First Methodist, Pastor Kurt Borden says the support never stopped.
It was really overwhelming, the number of people that just genuinely were concerned. It was honestly a little overwhelming for staff because we had to figure out ways to communicate to a very large number of people in a very short amount of time.
The church didn't wait for direction. It stepped into action.
We set aside a Sunday morning, specifically actually in this room. Folks in our church has stepped up. Leaders that we've been working on for years, and they wrote the prayers and they got the scriptures and they got the music, and we filled this with candles. And I mean, they were young, they were old, everybody just praying. Like he was saying, we have this connection with God, but when you bring other people in that also have a connection with God, that's where the peace comes, that's where the hope comes.
Pastor Brooks told me he was part of the first wave to make it out, with the second group of 145 people still on their way home. And without nonprofit groups like Gray Bull, a rescue foundation dedicated to bringing families like Steve's back safely, their return wouldn't have been possible.